Chaverim, you may be seated. Beth, Eli, why don't you come up and sit in the on-deck circle over there? In a moment, I'm going to invite Martha to come up and to give you your stuff. But before that, I want to reflect with you for a moment on the subject that you introduced earlier this evening, namely Hidur Mitzvah, which you explained quite correctly is about beautifying the way we do something, making it more engaging, enticing. And as we noted in the myriad of pictures that you took, that while that is especially true in the way we celebrate Judaism, it really is a phenomenon that occurs in pretty much every aspect of human experience. So when you commented on the magnificence of the architecture, the creators of those buildings weren't just interested in building a building. They were interested in creating something that was going to capture the eye and the imagination. And you know, the advantage of architects and builders is, by and large, they know that whatever it is they create is going to be there for a good long time. So there's a sense of permanence. But the flip side is, even those who work in more ephemeral kinds of things take a certain pleasure in making it an aesthetically appealing presentation that enhances your experience. Like the hot chocolate that you noted had those intricate designs. And I don't know if you've ever tried doing that. It's a lot harder than it looks, right? I imagine that if I were to engage in that artistic endeavor, it would come out the same way all my artistic endeavors do. It looks like an amoeba. Don't laugh, I make some of the world's greatest amoeba. So whether it's ephemeral, whether it's permanent, the idea of doing something in a way that beautifies it to engage us, to draw us in, is essential. And that's an important aspect of how we do Jewish life. We do it in a way that is meant to be exciting, a way that is comfortable and cozy, kind of the way the sanctuary kind of just feels like a very magnificent place to pray and to connect with God. I don't know how many of you are old enough to have had relatives who did this, but I grew up with a generation of ancestors who did one of the two following things. Remember plastic on the sofas, right? We had relatives who, in order to protect the good furniture, covered them in plastic, right? And even though they were covered in plastic, you were rarely allowed to sit on that furniture. Which, when you were allowed to and had to sit on the plastic, you're going like, I don't want to sit here. It was sticky, it was uncomfortable, or it was slidey, and it was just like, no, right? Or my grandparents of blessed memory did not do the plastic thing, right? But the living room was the antithesis of its name, because you looked in, but you never went in. It was every once in a blue moon, if you had really special company, you went in there. And there was only one comfortable chair in the living room. My Zeta of blessed memory, my grandfather, was the one who sat in it. The sofa was nicknamed the electric chair. It was seriously uncomfortable. Nobody wanted to sit in it. And it was like, Let's keep this as a showpiece, as something you look at, but you don't want to really go into because it looked okay, but it didn't say, come, sit, live in here, be happy in here, be comfortable in here. I remember when my grandparents got a TV set and it went in the living room. And we brought lawn chairs into the living room because nobody wanted to sit on any of the furniture. That was the antithesis of Hidur. It wasn't a beautification. It was beautiful, but it wasn't a Hidur. It wasn't an enhancement that said, please come be here. Please use us. And that's really the concept, whether it's the architect who says, you want to live in this building because you want to be able to look up and see what I created. Whether it's the barista who creates those intricate designs that says, yes, it's going to taste the same, but you're going to enjoy it that much more. And even the things that we don't think of necessarily, the talitot. A talit is simple and basic, but the ones that people choose, the ones that people create or have artists create for them, become things that they are excited to put on and not just doing so out of a sense of obligation and requirement. I said about the various Shabbat candles and Chanukiot and Sukkah and all the various things that you encountered about how novel and engaging they were. And so is both a Jewish concept and it is a suggestion about how you go about engaging with life. Always go that extra little bit, that thing that adds something of you so as to make it not just personal to you, but an invitation to others. Remember the rare book room? Those are old books. Most of them are under glass in order to preserve them and protect them. That's because they're old, really old in some cases. But when they were new, where did people keep them? On the shelf. Those Haggadot that were preserved and were touched with great care were used at people's seders, and every single old Haggadah I've ever seen is covered with wine stains. And old volumes of Talmud that sit in the rare book room and go back to the first editions of them. Were first editions when they were published, but the students who used them did the same thing that you and I did in the margins. They doodled. You know why? Because they weren't going, oh my God, this is a 500 or 600-year-old volume. This is my book. And I use it, and I make it mine. And yes, my doodles enhance what is in front of me. So the real secret of Hidur Mitzvah, real secret, to create and use the thing. It's not put it under plastic so nobody makes it dirty or maybe even wants to sit on it. Don't make it a showroom that nobody goes into. Don't make it a talit that has beautiful creases because it's been sitting in the drawer, or the Kiddush cup that is sitting on the shelf. Make it the things that are part of the fabric of your life, because the real Hidur, the real enhancement, the real beautification of Jewish life is using the artifacts of Judaism so that they are familiar friends and part of the fabric of your lives. That's the real secret of Hidur Mitzvah. Things that you use and that you want to use. Now, Martha, you've got some swag for the boys.
I do.
And you can give them as well,
Okay,
right?
well,
Tess, would you like to, give Martha some chizuk and assistance?
all right. Steph and Eli, calm down. Mazel tov on your confirmation. I bet there were times that you thought that you'd never get to this day. I have, right?
Yeah.
Right, okay, okay. I have 3 kids who have been confirmed, and every single one of them thought they would never get to this day. Your project was wonderful. The concept of Chidur Mitzvah is so important. And I was really interested to see your photography and see through your eyes what you thought was important. That really gave me an insight, really appreciated that. We have several things for you, starting with, you notice there's only one of these. This is the Tanakh, the Torah, prophets, and the writings. You'll notice that I only have one of them, and it has a book plate for Eli. And it's not because you're a great, we're forgetting about Seth. It's because they are out of stock with the printer. And we have to wait until after Shavuot for the second one to come. Don't worry, we have a book plate for you. Don't worry, we have it. The second thing we are giving you, you noticed that, I hope you all noticed the photograph of the Ark and the inside of the Ark and all our Torahs, that the Holocaust Torah was right there in the middle. And that Torah is on loan to us from the Memorial Scrolls Trust in London. And they have recently published a book called 1,564 Scrolls, A Legacy of Jewish Life in Bohemia and Moravia. And we bought a pack of 10 to give to our confirmands, so they have the background of that scroll and of the people who used those scrolls in London. Svi and I were privileged to go to London in 2020, 2023. And we went to the Memorial Scrolls Trust, and we saw the scrolls that are too damaged to even lend out. And it was just so inspiring to be there and to know that we are part of this great chain of people all over the world, congregations all over the world, who have these Torahs and use them as they should be used. Some are too damaged. Congregations display them like in a museum. We are privileged to be able to actually use that Torah. And here's a plug. When you come for Shavuot services on Monday and Tuesday, we will be using that Torah, as we always do, for the maftir portions for our holidays. So each one for Seth. Now, I have not had a chance to look at these.
Driver's manual?
It is, it is a somewhat humorous, I think, and serious.
Both humorous and serious.
And serious. Rabbi really likes this, and he went to great lengths. I mean, really great lengths to get these. And we hope you'll enjoy them. And again, one is for Seth and one is for Eli. It's called,
The rabbi. I thought.
Driving Jewishly,
that's right,
driving.
Jewish driving. Yes, there is such a thing. And it's not saying oi when you forget to stop at the stoplight. Also talk to both of you.
Okay. You guys may be done with the DMV, but there is going to be a quiz on that driver's manual. Ah,
Okay.
wait,
No,
I'm having a
Seth.
premonition. One is for Seth and one is for Eli.
That's you. And this is you. And I will read it. They both say the same thing except for the names. Says certificate of confirmation presented by Road of Shalom Temple to Eli Jacob Green and Seth Aaron Green, who having satisfactorily completed the prescribed course of studies was confirmed on the 5th day of Sivan, the year 5785, corresponding to the 30th day of May, the year 2025, Yisa bracha me'et Adonai, may God's blessings be upon him. And like any good certificate, it's signed by Rabbi and me. So as a Eli, welcome, and Seth. So if anyone doubts that you have been confirmed, just whip out this certificate.
And you might want to hold on to those only because the signatures in, a decade or two will be worth absolutely the same as they're worth today. Chaverim, let me invite you to please return to your seat. We rise as able, page 56, Aleinu.